Good morning, everybody. We are going to grab our live stream link for our patrons right here. Copy, come over here, put it in here, and we're going to paste. And we're going to publish now. Publish now. We published. We're so published. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody? It's Monday, the 11th of January. Lots of patriot-y things going on out there. Lots of rumors, lots of rumint, lots of humint, lots of OSINT, open source intelligence. We're going to talk a little bit about that this morning because not all information is good information. And I am by no means saying that I have a monopoly on good information or even decent information, but I am saying that there's a lot of people out there that are throwing things around that are unsubstantiated, uncorroborated, that are rumor only, and that really muddies the waters for us. And that's a problem. Remember, we talked that actionable intelligence is independently verifiable. And right now, we don't really exist in a world where any of this information, this intelligence can be independently verified. And because so many people are in silos, they're in echo chambers, they're hearing what they want to hear. There's a lot of people who are trusting the plan right now. And I'm not necessarily against that, but I am well reminded that we don't know anything unless we're told it. And so, take everything with a grain of salt. Take everything with a grain of salt. Now, let's get right into it. Grid down, Commo, and triple threat. The threat matrix this morning it's a Monday, so why not? Why not? If you're on Patreon, you got these links right over here, right down here. And if you're on YouTube, they're in the description. I thought that would be a nice thing to do, so I done did it. You're welcome, question mark. Weekly threat matrix. Food scarcity. Supply chain issues involving livestock feedstuffs may lead to an increased shortage of meat. Yay. If you're not following Adapt 2030 and the Ice Age Farmer, you should be. We'll be talking more about this in a special report in a moment. Civil unrest. Protests continue. In St. Louis, several hundred gathered to call for the resignation of U.S. Senator Josh Hawley after he objected to the Electoral College count on the day of the unrest at the Capitol. You know what? Suck it up, St. Louis. Frankfort, Kentucky saw a peaceful protest of armed patriots. The media focused on the camo and weapons and how soon after the Capitol riot this occurred, however. And patriots and BLM Antifa protesters clashed in San Diego. Eggs, rocks, and bottles were thrown, and pepper spray was used. And video evidence shows that multiple politicians have been confronted, questioned, and heckled by the public. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, especially if you're going to pretend to be our elected representatives. Act like it. Getting yelled at should be the least of your concern. Tyranny. Big tech is cracking down on freedom of speech. Hard. And politicians are moving against citizens. There's more details of this in the report as well. And Senator Josh Hawley's upcoming book, The Tyranny of Big Tech, was canceled after the Capitol riot. Yes, a book about censorship has just been censored. Disinformation. The censorship and conflicting accounts and claims are through the roof. Conspiracy theories are flying, and the mainstream media is twisting others' intentions and presumed affiliations more than ever. There are far too many specific instances to list here. And BLM and Antifa riots are being labeled as racial injustice protests, while the events at the U.S. Capitol are being branded as a Capitol riot. And while the vast majority of the masses were very peaceful and orderly, the entirety of patriots and Trump supporters, those who believe there were issues in the election, are being vilified as domestic terrorists. After months of authorities releasing vandals and rioters and forcing police to back down, They are finally looking to enact penalties only after the events at the Capitol building. Surprise, surprise. If you're new here, please like, subscribe, and share. Sharing gets around all the algorithmic nonsense here on YouTube. We're at 109.8 thousand subs. We appreciate you, all your new subs. Our goal is to be at 200,000 by the end of the year. So if you're looking in the shadows, if you could go ahead and subscribe, we would really appreciate that. Also, email us at intel@bearindependent.com. Right here, you can go to Bear Independent. You can see this little monkey head. That's the dance monkeys, the monkeys of the dance. Intel reports have been great lately, but we are shy on silver linings. So please write in with your good stuff, the good news that's happening in your life. That helps us tremendously put together a report that is based around what y'all are seeing and experiencing out there in the real world. Imagine that. Yeah, so we need some more silver linings. Now, moving right along. Segment 1. Big tech is controlling the narrative. And so we've got over here, we'll be coming back over to that in a minute. Oh yeah, lines of effort in a counterinsurgency. Imagine that. Tech giants Apple and Amazon, this is from One American News. Tech giants Apple and Amazon, just documenting, Todd, just documenting, suspended free speech social media site Parler from their services. This should not be news to anybody, but we're going to talk about it for a minute anyway. On Saturday, the decision came due to claims that the social networking site was not taking enough measures to prevent the spread of posts inciting violence. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words shall never hurt me. How far have we fallen where words and ideas become dangerous to the government and their proxies? I know this has been a long time coming. I've read 1984. I've read Animal Farm. I understand the power of words and ideas. But I can't put you in the dirt with words. I can't put you in the dirt with ideas. Although, now that I think about it, I can make you put you in the dirt with words. I can make you put you in the dirt with ideas. Parler became popular among the president's supporters as his Twitter account was permanently removed on Friday. That makes a lot of sense. The app was seen as a haven for people who were expelled from Twitter. Apple claimed the Capitol Hill protests were coordinated on Parler's site. In a statement on Saturday, Apple announced the app would be unavailable until they had time to look into several issues. I'm sure. The tech giant told Parler that they would have to implement fact checkers on posts if they wanted to avoid suspension. However, Parler's chief executive, John Matsey, said the app could be unavailable for days. He accused Google, Amazon, and Apple of trying to kill competition in the marketplace. This all came after Parler climbed to number 1 on Apple's App Store before it was suspended. And then there's plenty more blah, blah, blahs, but let's look at this. This is from FM24.2. Field Manual for Tactics and Counterinsurgency. And you can see here, when dealing in a counterinsurgency, one of the things that we must do is conduct information engagement. If you have a pro-government populace, these lines of effort here, these are not all the lines of effort, but there's some good ones. You want to conduct information engagement. If you don't have a pro-government populace, what do you want to do? Conduct disinformation engagement and conduct operations that limit the information engagement of your enemy. So this is not a new concept, but it is codified. It is an actual tactic when dealing with insurgents. which means, and we've discussed this at length, ad nauseum in other broadcasts, the .gov considers you and I to be an insurgency. Well, at some point, somebody might actually start acting that way, and then what? And then words and ideas will be the least of your problem. Hypothetically speaking. You know what I mean? How are we doing over here in the live chat? 1,645 people. Look at those comments blown by. 373 likes. No thumbs up. No thumbs up. Not even a little thumbs up. Good morning to all the blue wrenches. Dudley. Frank de Cesapides is here. Andrew Barnes is here. Milton Roots is here. Mojo Jojo is here. Poor Choices. Jennifer Hood. James Jones. And Joshua Rose. Fabuloso. Tavar. Good morning, Tavar. Moving right along. Elijah Schaefer. I can't say that Elijah is a friend because that would be bending the truth because we don't know each other well enough to be friends. But he's a good guy. I've had the opportunity to meet Elijah, spend some time with Elijah. He's a good guy. His heart is in the right place. And so, of course, because he's a good guy, he's got to be what? Silenced! From ConservativeReview.com, documenting Todd. Journalist Elijah Schaefer has been banned from Facebook and Instagram on Friday. He reported on Twitter that the two social media platforms, both of which are owned by Facebook, took down his profile and content. Facebook and Instagram have permanently suspended me from their platforms without explanation. It was mostly just pictures of my wife, who is a lovely lady, by the way. Absolutely beautiful heart on that woman. Awesome. Dog. Never met his dog, but I'm guessing probably a good dog. And memories of my mom who recently died. Sorry for your loss. But big tech is relentless. Reporting the truth is now illegal. Follow me at The Blaze. Schaefer, who reports for The Blaze, was instrumental in reporting on protests and riots during the summer of 2020. He and his film crew got up close and personal with protests and riots across the country, getting assaulted in Philadelphia, threatened in Rochester, among other cities. He was also inside the Capitol building and shot a lot of the footage that we and many others have aired since the Capitol building riot. Schaefer has a federal congressional press license and was essential in delivering information on what was actually happening. He and a cadre of other independent journalists were able to report on the events of the summer in a way that the mainstream media absolutely could not and would not touch. Well, good. Let's ban him too, because remember, conduct information engagement and or disinformation engagement and or limit access to information so that it cannot be engaged with. Control the flow of information. This is standard tactics. Standard. Refuge Medical Store. Listen, if you storm the Capitol building, you might want to have an IFAC with you. R.I.P. Ashley Babbitt. For real, if you're going to do Patriot things, have Patriot skills. It's not just the gear that matters, it's also the ability to use it. 50% of the people that come to our 4-hour Stop the Bleed and 8-hour TCCC classes die with an IFAC right in front of them at the beginning of class. We put everything you need right in front of you and you go, hey, you just got shot in the left arm, go. 50% of them die. With everything they need right in front of them. And I'm not talking like, and it's we have people from all walks of life. We have house moms, we have teachers, we have military police, we have law enforcement, we have firefighters, we have EMS personnel, we have doctors, we have farmers, we have truck drivers, we have salesmen, we have helicopter pilots, we have everybody from every walk of life. And across all walks of life, 50% of them die. So, at Refuge Medical in Dallas, well, the Dallas area, Irving, Texas, right here, on the 31st, there is a 4-hour Stop the Bleed class. It is $350, but that includes your $100 TCCC trainer kit. See, right here. Cost of the class includes a North American Rescue TCCC trainer kit, which will be retained by the student. This allows the student to train their friends and loved ones with the same tactics and techniques after the class is completed. It's your kit. You keep it, meaning you don't have to tear apart your operational IFAC to train with, and then when you leave, you got to put another $100, $150, $200 worth of gear back into your IFAC to have it operational again. No, the cost of our class includes the trainer kit. It's one of the things I've absolutely disdained about all these other training classes is, yeah, the training class is only $150. It's only $200. Cool. But you go destroy your IFAC, and then you have to repopulate your IFAC, which means your IFAC is out of service. That was dumb to me. And so our 4-hour Stop the Bleed, which is derived from tactical combat casualty care courses, it's not your usual, this is a tourniquet, this is how you apply a tourniquet, have a great day, okay, bye class. It's real, there's real medicine taught in this class. Our class includes the TCCC trainer kit as well as the 4-hour training from real medical professionals who have been there, done that, and have all the t-shirts. So this is coming up in Irving, Dallas area on the 31st of January. There's a morning class and an afternoon class. I would highly recommend you check it out. If you're anywhere near there, if you're within a half a day's drive of that area, I would definitely go there. We're only doing civilian classes once per quarter now because we're just jammed up with law enforcement. So if you're a civilian and you're within a half a day's drive of Dallas, highly recommended you check it out. We've had awesome feedback on all the other classes, so please to be for coming to class so you not die when get shot with gun, okay? Okay. Moving right along. What's going on in the chat, Dudley? You keeping everybody in line? Earl's daughter is here. 2,000 people are here. Fabulous. Angela Morgan's here. Imagine that. Did you see how fast this chat goes by? Mark Chase. Good morning, Mark Chase. I see the names. I don't know what they're saying, though. So in India, well, not in India, in Pakistan, which shares a border with India, reporting from New Delhi, a day after massive power outages was reported in the country, Pakistan on Monday suspended 7 staff members at one of its biggest power plants. We're going to get into that in a minute. From the El Monkeys del Danzo, which is Spanish for the Dance Monkeys, which is Intel@BurnIndependent.com. I might have got too much sleep last night. I'm not entirely sure. The big tech crackdown and rumblings on social is intensifying. Mozilla's chairwoman said that the temporary silencing or permanent removal of bad actors from social media platforms is not enough, and that we need more deplatforming. I don't think we do, sweetheart. Mozilla is behind the Firefox browser, a browser that's considered a safer alternative to Google because of the concerning amount of data that Google collects. Google, Apple, and Amazon have booted Parler off of the app stores and web hosting services. Parler CEO said that Amazon was attempting to completely remove free speech off the internet as part of a coordinated attack by the tech giants to kill competition in the marketplace. By the way, let's all clap. Maybe not. No. If y'all could please share this out, that helps us greatly. Just grab a link, send it out to whoever you think needs to see this. That helps us greatly. This is not exclusive Patreon content. So this is YouTube content. It's out there for everybody to see. So please share this to the masses. That helps us greatly. The algorithm and us, we don't always get along. We used to get along a lot better before we hit 100,000 subs. And now, for whatever reason, we just feel driven to hit 200,000. Because 2 Todds is better than 1 Todd, I guess. So, moving right along. Parler's CEO said that Amazon was attempting to completely remove free speech off the internet as part of a coordinated attack by tech giants to kill competition in the marketplace. Already, many are being banned and censored at unprecedented rates. Notably, YouTube, just documenting Todd, banned Steve Bannon's War Room podcast, and Michael Flynn and Sidney Powell have been banned from Twitter, along with the president. Elijah Schaefer with The Blaze has multiple agencies digging into his past, contacting his family members, former church, and more to try and find dirt on him. Many more people are being censored, and many more will be targeted in the coming days. This is such a clear phenomenon that it's becoming common knowledge when many would have dismissed it as bias or conspiracy theory only a few months ago. Users are abandoning at least Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Firefox, if not also YouTube and other social media apps and platforms. Just as an FYI, our backup for YouTube is Patreon. Just go to Patreon, Patreon.com, search for Bear Independent. You'll find us. Yes, it's $1 a month or $10 a year. That's 1,556 round per month, or 1/3 of a magazine per year at this point, which is absurd. But anyway, yeah, it's $1 a month, $10 a year to sign up on Patreon. Additionally, there are many other channels that are adjacent to mine, smaller channels of people that we do life with. My wife is Hommy Biscuits, Hommy Biscuits. You can follow her. And if I need to get a message out to you, I can do that there. You can follow Stumps, Roots, and Shoots. Same thing. That's Brother Farst, Sister Renee. You could follow J.A. Dudley. That's Brother J.A. Dudley. And there's many other channels that we're associated with as well. So if we ever are made to go dark on this channel, you might want to follow those other channels as well. You definitely want to be signed up on Patreon. And you can also sign up on the website at bearindependent.com. Over here, if you go to homepage, let's see. Right here at the bottom. Yeah, these are Instagram pics, right, Shira? You go right here at the bottom. You can get on the email list that if something bad happens, we can email you and let you know where to find us. Oh, look, handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever, military, law enforcement, EMS, firefighter, civilian sheepdog blowout kits that exceed military specification. Who'd have thought? How interesting. I would have never thought about that at all. Pence has not ruled out the 25th Amendment. Pence is really pooping in the fine linen on this one. Pence has not ruled out invoking the 25th Amendment against President Trump, and Nancy Pelosi has threatened Trump with a second impeachment unless he resigns immediately. One wonders what effect this is intended to have, since Trump has very little time left in office. A top former military officer, retired Air Force Lieutenant General Thomas McInerney, claimed that Nancy Pelosi's laptop was taken by Special Forces operatives during the Capitol riot chaos. I think that she is worried about what's on those computers, which is why she wants Trump impeached immediately, because if he's impeached, he's no longer commander-in-chief and the chief executive, which is good for her because they probably got their derriere in a sling with what's on those computers. As far as Special Forces operatives being in the Capitol, the general is not the first person that I've heard that from firsthand, from people who would have the ability to know that. And so I cannot personally confirm that, but in the mouths of two or three, let everything be established. So I've heard that from more than one source, and I don't mean open sources. So I'm willing to go with yes, that is at least mostly factual, if not proven to be factual at this point in my mind. So bear that in mind. And in Pakistan experienced a nationwide power outage reportedly due to a fault in the power transmission system, according to the country's energy ministry. The massive blackout affected about 200 million people, including those in large cities. The same night, the Vatican also experienced a long blackout. Some individuals noted in real time the Eiffel Tower went dark, though confirmation for this is sparse. Conspiracy theories are already abounding, tying both Pakistan and Italy to the affidavit leaked of Italian involvement in the U.S. election interference. There seems to be an executive order for this as well. How interesting. Limited information indicates that Pakistani citizens are growing more and more concerned, some calling for war, others talking about the government's Great Reset. Let's talk about this a little bit. In New Delhi, a day after massive power outage was reported in the country, Pakistan suspended 7 members of one of its biggest power plants. The blackout had on January 10 affected all of Pakistan's major cities, including the capital Islamabad, economic hub Karachi, and the second largest city, Lahore, lasting about 18 hours in most areas. And they blame this on 6 junior employees But interestingly, if you go over here and you Wikipedia this place, which is the Gadu Thermal Power Plant, also known as the Central Power Generation Company Limited, or GenCo 2, which is a common thing with power plants and power infrastructure. They're constantly being bought out and changing names. So that's, I'm not going to say that's not shady, but it's not any more shady than the way the power generation and power transmission industry already operates. But right over here, Gadu's thermal plant transmission line breaks, 2016. Massive power cut again, 2018. Russia and Pakistan at new momentum. Embassy of Russia in Islamabad. By the way, this power plant was built with a technical data package and joint technical cooperation from the United Soviet Socialist Republics, the USSR. Remember those guys? That good old-fashioned Cold War? That's right. Good versus evil. Rocky IV. Right. Running through the snow, doing upside down, hangy, sit-up things. We gotta make up for Apollo Creed getting punched in the dome and killed by that giant Russian guy. All of that. That's who built it. It was Ivan Draga built this power plant. If he dies, he dies. So, they had another issue. They launched additional units in 2014, and they had a 12-hour suspension for repairs in 2017. So, this plant here is not without its issues, but it's in an interesting place. So, over here is Pakistan. Go on and move map. So if you're unfamiliar with the world, right now, my head is in Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Thailand area, Myanmar and Burma area possibly. Then you have India over here. India has 1 billion people. And then you have China over here. China has a couple billion people, we think. Remember that India and China don't like each other, and they have a lot of troops along the LAC, the line of actual conflict, which is somewhere over in here. Now, next to India is Pakistan. Next to Pakistan is Afghanistan and Iran. You know, this area of the world over here where people be killing each other for the last 4,000-ish years. Yes, this is this whole area of the world over here. Now, in Pakistan, there is this Gadu power plant. Let's see. Let's go to satellite imagery and just give you an idea of what the footprint looks like on this, assuming that I can remember where it bees and stuff. Rajasthan. It's in the Sindh province. Let's see if I can find it. No pressure. Where's Karachi? It's upriver from Karachi. There it is. Okay, there it is. Right here. Come on, buddy. Right here. Right on a river. Why is it on a river? Because it's a thermal plant. The way that this thing makes power is it burns fuel oil. And fuel oil creates heat. And that heat creates steam. And that steam creates pressure, which turns turbines, which makes electricity. This old power plant right here, my point is while yes, built by the USSR, is in no way well protected. Let's just say, so here's your switching station right here. So power comes out of this area, comes into here, and then goes overland from here on highline wire. You have this, what I'm sure is an incredibly clean river right here. It's passing through here, and you can see power lines right here on pylons in the water moving across. These are high tension lines, transmission lines that are coming out of the substation here, and the power is generated in this area. These are all fuel tanks because this thing runs on fuel oil. Imagine that. And here's your look at the proximity of this to the water. I'm not going to tell you how to break a power plant. I'm just going to tell you that if you were to break a power plant, this would be an easy power plant to break. Ask me how I know. So, moving right along, we have over here from cvine.com. Lynn Woods suggested in a post last evening to visit to the Vatican on their live stream and provided a link. That doesn't even make sense. That's bad English. All roads to the Vatican are now closed. Power outage last night. How are we doing on the live stream? 2,848 people and only 1,000 thumbs up. It's cool. I didn't like you anyway. I didn't want to hang out with you. We don't have to be friends. You don't have to give me a thumbs up. It's whatever. It's fine. I'm not hurt about it. It doesn't hurt at all. Just a little bit on the inside. All right, a lot bit. You caught me. It hurts me a lot. All roads to the Vatican are now closed. This is an evolving story. When I clicked to observe, everything was dark except for a couple of lights and watched. The number of people who were watching at the time were 1,700, then shot over to 8,000. Then it went to 200 after a lack of temporary activity and now way up again. So reporting on the Vatican and power going out here. Then you have subsequently other people tweeting about, hey, do y'all know what's going on out there in the world? Hours-long, very unusual power outage in Pakistan's large cities, as well as in the Vatican in Rome, Italy. Just so you know, Pakistan, Venezuela, Vatican, and Paris have all lost power tonight. What's with the 2 police cars driving at the Vatican? They are solo and alone. Patriots, odd. Why is nobody talking about the blackout in the Vatican and the Eiffel Tower? Do we have people in the following cities who can confirm that blackouts are happening in one shape or form, please? Berlin, Paris, Rome, Vatican, Pakistan. Breaking, as news of an international conspiracy involving the Italian government to remove President Donald Trump picks up steam, a massive blackout just hit the Vatican. What are the odds? The odds are, if I was a betting man, there is no coincidence. There's just the unseen hand of man or the unseen hand of God. And I'm guessing the Most High wasn't behind this. So this is either one of two things. This is either they, the big they, flexing their muscle going, hey, look what we can do. Or this is tied to clandestine covert action. Now, there's a lot of rumor going around, and I have tried to research this. In fact, I got a call from an incredibly respected brother and friend last night who's like, hey, did you hear the Pope got arrested? I was like, what are you smoking, dude? He goes, yeah, look it up right now. He goes, because as I'm trying to look it up, posts are being pulled down. And I was able to find a couple of articles on it, but literally as I was researching it, posts were being pulled down again. So was the Pope arrested? I have no idea. Cannot confirm. Could the Pope have been arrested? Yes. All things are possible. Some things are more probable than others, which is, again, why we don't smoke hopium here and we don't blow smoke up each other's derrieres. Is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? Unknown. Did it happen? 100% unconfirmed as of this time. If that changes, I'll let you know. But this was coordinated. The question is, was it coordinated by who? I don't know. Was it Trump and the Patriots? Maybe. Was it the cabal? Maybe. It was somebody who's got a long reach and a lot of horsepower. There are no coincidences. Lights are back on at the Vatican. Something is going on. All the roads to Vatican City have been closed. So, yeah, how interesting. I do want to make this a little bit actionable for y'all, though. Grid down is the #1 disruptive threat. Our existence is predicated on the successful flow of electrons at this point. So my question to y'all is, are you in a position to weather a grid down scenario right now in January 2021 in winter in North America? Do you have the ability to go a few days or a few weeks without power? I would recommend that you do. We know that right now, Big tech is actively censoring people, but what happens when that becomes all-out cuts in communications? When the lines of Commo are cut, do you have a way to communicate? This is basic stuff. I've been monitoring our local repeater on my little Baofeng handheld right here since yesterday, listening for the emergency broadcast messages. Just paying attention. You never know, because it might be nothing. It might be something. Do you have everything you need in your car to walk home right now? Or if you don't have a car, you live in a city, in your backpack, if you had to walk home right now. It's winter in January. How far do you live from your house? And everybody has different names for this. This is my get home bag. This is my car bag. This is my I'm never coming home bag. This is whatever. It's all the same capabilities. It's how you deploy them. Doesn't matter. You need the same basic things: cutting tool, cordage, combustion container, cover, combat, casualty care, calories, compass, communications, candle or flashlight. It's all the same basic components. It's just how you employ them. So I don't care what you call your bag. Do you have a bag with something in it in your car? Could you walk home right now? Did you wear appropriate clothing, appropriate footwear? Or do you have that in your vehicle? If you had to walk home, could you? Real actionable stuff. Have you topped off your fuel? Have you topped off your pantry items? Have you filled your prescription medications lately? Do that, like today. Good idea. Also, do you have enough alternate fuel, backup fuel, to keep your house heated for the next few days? If you have electric heat, do you have a generator to run it, or do you have a way to stay warm in your house? Lots of blankets piled up in bed, snuggling the people that you love. Or if it's wood heat, do you have enough wood or fuel oil or propane or natural gas or whatever? Could be nothing. Could be something. Completely unconfirmed at this point. But grid down is the number one disruptive threat to our way of life at this point. Everything, including this conversation we're having right now, is dependent upon the successful flow of electrons. You got about 2 to 3 days after the electrons stop flowing before you have chaos actual. So, things to think about, right? Right. Fabulous. So if you're going to do the prepper things, though, and the patriot things, you need to go to adventurefrontier.com. Check them out over here at adventurefrontier.com, and you can get yourself some plate carriers and some plates and the best freaking bare fac and bare minimum individual first aid kits on the planet right here, as well as the Fluffy Bunny stickers and patches. Now, if you don't know about the Fluffy Bunny stickers and patches, you don't need to know about the Fluffy Bunny stickers and patches. You're clearly not read into this TSSCI operation. However, if you are, knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me, twice on the door if the answer is no. But also, you can get your bunny stickers and patches here. And you can get your plate carriers, your chest rigs, your IFACs, your knives, your gear, all the prepper and patriot stuff at adventurefrontier.com. These are awesome brothers. They've been with us for over 2 years. We love them. They're a small business. They have excellent customer service. And if you need to get some stuff, go to adventurefrontier.com. Check them out. Maybe, you were insulted with the low-value stimulus check and you're looking for a way to burn it. Here's a good way to burn it, adventurefrontier.com. Because let's be honest, the money's going in the toilet anyway. I think I'm just going to get a pallet of peanut butter whiskey and call it good. Bear, what should I invest in? I don't know. I'm not your guy. Cigars and whiskey would be my first answer, and that's probably bad, but maybe not. I don't know. I do as I say, not as I do. Segment 3, triple threat. From the monkeys of the dance, Solar Winds, we have pulled up right here. Let me go to my documentation. A triple threat from the dance monkeys, the intel section. Yes, that's what we call that particular S section. Our intel section is the dance monkeys. You can find them at intel@bearindependent.com. Send them messages of actual import, not click here to watch this video about how the reptilian overlords are going to harvest our kidneys for adrenochrome and enslave all of us. Like, no, nobody's going to watch that video. We don't care. Actionable intelligence, please and thank you. Bear Independent, a triple threat. The U.S. is facing a triple threat now, with its security and integrity being threatened in the cybersphere. Political and social crisis is boiling over into unprecedented tyranny and impending increases in food supply issues, and the indicators of which are beginning now. Because we have already covered cybersecurity and political and civil situation at length, this report will focus mainly on threat indicators relating to the food supply. 3 points of the triple threat are as follows. So you've got cyber attacks ongoing. A long-term cyber attack of historical proportions has been attributed to Russia and was carried out this year, which the damage of which is still not fully known. Remember, the Russias are tied to the Clintons. The Russias. Russia is tied to the Clintons and the Democratic Party, as is China. But remember, anything that they accused Trump of, they were doing themselves. So when they were all about Russian collusion, we know that they were doing this themselves. When they were all about Ukraine, we know that they were doing this themselves. So SolarWinds hackers are tied to known Russian spying tools. Imagine that. I would have never guessed. That's a lovely banner, by the way. I have no idea how much that thing cost. $12,000? Maybe more? Maybe $20,000? One day, Bear Nation, we'll buy a banner that big. No, we won't, because we blew all our money on peanut butter, whiskey, and cigars. From Reuters, the group behind a global cyber espionage campaign, discovered last month, deployed malicious computer code with links to spying tools previously used by suspected Russian hackers. Sweet. Investigators at Moscow's, and this is VentureBeat.com, Todd, just documenting, investigators at Moscow-based security firm Kaspersky said the backdoor used to compromise up to 18,000 customers of U.S. software maker SolarWinds closely resembled malware tied to a hacking group known as Turla, which Estonian authorities have said operates on behalf of the Russian FSB security service. Everybody tracking? This makes lots of sense. It's easy to follow, right? Moscow has repeatedly denied the allegations. The FSB did not respond to a request for comment. You think? That's like calling up the CIA and saying, hey, I have a question that I really want you to answer. It goes on from here. Multiple people have found that these hacks are tied to Russia. False flags, yada, yada, yada. The links to this article is in the description down below and on Patreon. But this is a known quantity now. We know this is happening, right? Due to current censorship, other cybersecurity issues, some of which potentially involve Italy, will not be mentioned here today, but perhaps in the near future. The thing to understand is this is World War III stuff. This is asymmetric and unconventional warfare stuff. This is unrestricted warfare stuff. This is not plate carriers and chest rigs and battle rifles stuff. While we definitely have a need for that, it's important to understand that traditionally speaking, we're always trying to fight the last war, not the next one. Well, World War III has been ongoing for a while, and this SolarWinds hack is part of it. Russia said 2 years ago, we're already in World War III, the U.S. just doesn't know it yet. Well, newsflash, Bear Nation, here we are. Of course, we've been talking about this for a while, but we are not the general populace. Perhaps if we were, we might not be in the situation that we are today. But I digress. Political and social crisis. Coronavirus and subsequent restrictions leading to severe economic issues and political ire, loss of faith, and the resulting civil unrest of both. This civil war narrative that's going on right now is, make no mistake, it's part of the plan. It's part of the Hegelian dialectic. You have the thesis and the antithesis, and the pro and the con, the yin and the yang, the red and the blue, the black and the white, the whatever, you smash them together and you get the synthesis. And in the doing of that, you control, if you have the problem, you propose the problem, you create the problem, you can create the solution and implement that solution and control the outcome of that. That's called the Hegelian dialectic, and it's worth researching for those that are unaware of it. And that essentially allows the big they to control the narrative here of one half of the country pitted against the other. And while it certainly feels like that's a justified way of thinking, we also have to remember that it 100% plays into the hands of the they. A house divided against itself cannot stand. And many people would say, good for you, you quoted Abraham Lincoln. And I would say, good for Abraham Lincoln, he quoted Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, when he said that. So, while it feels very much so like we should throw on our plate carriers, grab our rifles, and go to work, should we? And I really don't want to, we're having kind of an upbeat, light show today. I really don't want to jump into that rabbit hole too deeply because we might break a couple of ankles in there. But here's the deal. You don't take any action whatsoever without first understanding what is the mission, what are the objectives that support that mission, what are the lines of effort that support those objectives, and what are the logistical necessities required to support those lines of effort that support the objectives that support the mission. It's like saying I'm going camping with nothing but an emergency blanket and a Mora knife out in the middle of Alaska right now. What are you trying to accomplish? I don't know. I'm just going camping. You're going to die, bro. You're going to die. And I don't want that. What is the mission? Clearly define the mission. That's not been done yet. So don't just let them rile you up without clearly understanding what it is that you're trying to do. Emotional reactions are bad anyway. You want logical reactions. You don't want to be emotional, especially when it comes to dealing with life and death. And anytime our emotions are being tugged on to elicit a response, remember that they control the narrative. Don't let them spin you up using the narrative. Whether it's something you want to hear or something you don't want to hear, so that you do something that you can never take back again. The flip side of that is when you commit fully. You don't just run into the Capitol building and then go, now what? When you commit fully. When you go hard and fast. Speed, surprise, and violence of action. And I'm not advocating violence here. I'm simply saying you better understand what it is that you're trying to accomplish before you go try and accomplish it. Because if you don't know what the mission is, there is a 100% chance that you fail. If you don't know what the target is, there's 100% chance that you miss it. The first thing always is identify the target, clearly define the goal. What is the mission? And then you reverse engineer from there. The mission is not play into the narrative of the big they so that we have a protracted civil war on American soil which ties up our attention and resources so that they on a global scale can do whatever the hell they want to do. That's not the mission. However, 71% of Trump voters think that that could happen, and 40% of Biden voters think that that could happen as well. This is from the Washington Examiner. And this is a bunch of nonsense going on here. This obviously being the Capitol building. I don't know what that first portion was there. Oh, hey, it's our buddy in the Viking helmet. Good times. Great times. The best times. Believe it. The narrative is that there is a clash coming, it's unavoidable, and there's nothing we can do about it. You need to do some prayer and soul searching on that one. Civil wars are ugly. Ask yourself, how much of your neighbor's blood do you want on your hands? I want zero. I want zero. Food shortage and supply issues. Supply chain issues for livestock feed may result in a loss of both livestock and farms. Brazil, the biggest exporter of soybeans worldwide, has been cut off from multiple major food giants simultaneously, allegedly due to deforestation. How are we doing over here in the live chat? What's going on over here? 3,511 people and a $5 bill from someone. Well, bless y'all. I appreciate y'all. And 1,881 likes. Y'all are awesome. Look at that freaking chat fly by. Bear, how come you didn't read my comment? Do you see this? Do you see this? Bless y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hey, again, please like and share. Please like and share. Please like and share. That helps us greatly. Argentina may not even plant fields of soy due to drought and has already made moves to limit its corn exports. Think international livestock feed supply. And note that it has been reported that vandals have been trying to destroy millions of bushels of soybeans by compromising the bags, which are moisture barriers. So that's not wonderful. Regulations against food, which is a finger to the wind. The UK is banning outdoor poultry flocks despite them being only 5% of the market, allegedly due to bird flu, and legislation is in the works to ban factory farming by 2040. This isn't just political blustering. One woman reported that a UK agency arrived at her home to gas her pet chickens. To which I would answer, get off my effing front lawn. But regulations are causing people to give up their flocks and small farmers to stop selling eggs from their small flocks. And U.S. legislation was introduced last year to ban large concentrated animal feeding operations, CAFOs, which are disgusting, but also feed a lot of animals that end up in your hamburgers and on your grocery store shelves. Propaganda linking livestock to pandemic fears. Denmark eradicated its mink industry because there were fears of a mutation of COVID-19 had spread from mink to people. The country culled 17 million mink. And one study showed that swine are susceptible to COVID-19. Another study of the Bible, specifically Leviticus 11, showed that swine aren't food either. And a USDA-funded research project to find how the virus that caused COVID-19 might be transmitted from cattle to the meat in your refrigerator has already begun. Both of these were reported in the media. Now, we can see over here from ArmstrongEconomics.com, food is becoming increasingly scarce and therefore more and more expensive. Scarcity scenarios were played out by global institutions 5 years ago. One supposed solution, meat taxes. Meat taxes. There's a serious food shortage we have been warning about, which our computer has been projecting for the 4.3-year wave into 2024. Newsflash, that means it started last year, exacerbated by COVID-19, which means, drumroll please, you should be stacking food now and have a plan to replace the food that you're going to eat, which you're stacking, which is agriculture. Small animal husbandry, small livestock, maybe even big livestock, depending on where you are. Gardens, row crops, hydroponics, aquaponics, all that stuff. What about beets? I hear they're a superfood. You could plant lots of beets and just eat beets and you'd be super. Maybe you'd be almost as super as Vester Dillon, which is the Bear Nation superhero. Maybe not, though. That would be tough because he's pretty super. Our sources from Asia and Europe have been confirming what we've been getting from Australia and the United States. Now it is starting to be reported in Germany by the Deutsche Wirtschaftsnachrichten. There is also a shortage of food building in New York City thanks to the lockdowns. This has been caused by climate change with solar activity turning down. Yes, contrary to popular belief, turning down, and the stupidity of lockdowns which prevented farmers from getting their crops and animals to the markets. Couple that with 1/3 of the United States faces droughts. Luckily, we are in eastern Oklahoma, so we're actually having the opposite problem. It is so freaking wet here, we don't know what to do. I thought when I moved from this area, North Texas, to this area, eastern Oklahoma, that I was moving to Oklahoma. It turns out I actually was moving to this area, which is the Pacific Northwest, where it rains constantly. I was really confused. But, you know, it's probably had something to do with my trajectory being off because of the flat earth and the firmament. But I digress. And then over here we have, oh, that's a search engine thing. Get out of there. Well, global supply chain issues as well. Not going so hot. COVID-19 has just essentially proven that you can't necessarily get what you want. But if you try really freaking hard, you might get what you need. Now, lastly, RefugeMedical.com. RefugeMedical.com is where you can go and should go to purchase the Bearfac. And the Bearfac, what is it? It's handmade. It's made in America. It's guaranteed forever. It has everything you need and nothing you don't to save lives. How do we know this? Because it's saved 13 lives already. And it's deployed on 4 continents with 4 branches of the armed forces. And it comes in all the cool colors. This one's gray. This one's great, but you see you can get it in red, black, OD green, coyote tan, gray, multicam, Marpat woodland. You can get the crash kit red and also Ranger green, which is a limited run. So if you want a Ranger green, you can get it. This is what it looks like. It's about this big. It's hand sewn, handmade in America, guaranteed forever. If you use the contents of this to treat an injury or save a life, I will replace those contents free of charge. The contents look like this stuff right here, and as you can see, yes. Pop this open, yeah, pull this out, and now you're holding a purpose-built, handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever, blowout kit, okay? So you can die from a gunshot wound to an extremity in about 90 seconds, if not sooner. Which begs the question, Dudley, where did we just get shot? Dudley, where did we get shot? Where are we, Dud? Where did we get shot? Where is it? Oh my gosh, look at that thing. We got shot in Texas. Jay Morris, bless you. AO 1968, bless you. Jay Morris, bless you. I can't read this that fast. Homie Biscuits, Dudley. Promo code Bear Nation, that's right. How do you guys even keep up with this? Where did we get shot? In the neck. Thanks, Sarah. That's in the left leg. Austin, I'm not very happy with you right now, but okay, we just got shot in the left leg. I guess I should probably put this kit down and get busy pulling my freaking tourniquet out of my pocket and getting it on my left leg. Remember to watch the boys down there. Avoid the dangly parts. Oh! Tourniquet, the left leg. Gosh, dang. Had a twist in it. That's not good. That doesn't work. Let's try it again. I'm bleeding out all over the place. Somebody mark time. You got about 90 seconds. If you get hit in the femoral artery, 1 turn, 2 turns. One more. Gosh, dang, that feels wonderful. Time. Left leg, tourniqueted. I feel great. Yeah. Can you all even see that? All right. Now, shoot, move, communicate. Go, tough guy. All right. Foxfire Armory. Now you can. All right. Getting this off. So, that's why you should have a tourniquet on you. The Bearfac comes with a Gen 7 cat tourniquet. It's the best in the industry. And you can get them at RefugeMedical.com. Use promo code BearNation. You'll get 10% off your order. They freaking rock. How do we know? Because we make them and we sell them. Designed and refined with involvement from United States Special Forces. The Bearfac, RefugeMedical.com. So, and you know, you're supporting a small business that employs Americans as well. So in this time of chaos, if you're looking for a place to spend some bucks, we greatly appreciate you. RefugeMedical.com. And also, you can get all your stickers, patches, swag, t-shirts, all that stuff at BearIndependent.com. Please and thank you. We love you for it. All right, the end of the report. Where did I put my report? I put it over here. I need some covfefe. Fabulous. Let's get to some silver linings, which, by the way, we need more of. Intel at bearindependent.com. Intel at bearindependent.com. Intel at bearindependent.com. Silver linings. My husband and I have put our prepping in high gear. We put 541 pounds of beans, flour, sugar, and rice in Mylar bags today. Not bad for being middle-aged. I agree. Good job. Another viewer said, Bear Camp and the channel was a catalyst for the renewal of my faith. That alone is the greatest silver lining of all. I'm finally dealing with the demons that have haunted me since childhood, growing up in an abusive and neglectful home. Well, bless you, brother or sister. The Father is capable of healing all things and using all people. And literally, demons will run in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach or Jesus the Christ. Ask me how I know. So whenever, sometimes you get this feeling inside of you like you're battling something, or you'll just like get tense and anxious and just start rebuking. Start rebuking. Wield this word like a weapon and stay covered in the name. And if you need to rebuke something in the name of Messiah, do it. I oftentimes rebuke myself in the name of Messiah. So don't be afraid to wield that power and authority, not because you're awesome, but because he is awesome. Lastly, silver lining. Because of your advice, my wife and I are working towards 3 months worth of food and continue to stack it toward the floor joists. We don't use the attic, so use the attic, so no rafters. I also have been able to turn good friends into prepping simply by telling them to check out Bear. He has all the stuff you need to know. You are doing an amazing job. I'm blessed to have found your channel. God bless, brother. I have no doubt you'll be told well done when we are called home. Well, thank you very much. That is my goal at the end of an age, to hear well done, good and faithful servant, and to make up for all of the atonement, make up for all the chaos that I've caused. You know, atonement is one thing. Repentance is another. And repentance, true repentance, is the Hebrew word teshuvah. It means to turn. It means you turn from your wicked ways. Well, if you turn from something, it means you're turning towards something else. And so, as much time as I can spend turned towards Elohim, my Creator, and Yeshua, my Savior, the better. Because when I'm turned towards myself, or turned towards my own thoughts and feelings, or the world, forget it. I'm a mess. So, all I am is living proof that he can and will use anybody with a willing heart, and that nobody is past the point of redemption. Let's read Psalms 80 right quick. Give ear, O shepherd of Israel, who leads Joseph like a flock, who dwells between the cherubim. Shine forth before Ephraim and Benjamin and Manasseh. Stir up your might and come and save us. Cause us to turn back, O Elohim, and cause your face to shine that we might be saved. O Yahweh Elohim of hosts, how long shall you be wroth with your people against the prayer of your people? You have caused them to eat the bread of tears and have caused them to drink with tears a third time. You have made us a strife to our neighbors, and our enemies laugh amongst themselves. Turn us back, O Elohim of hosts, and cause your face to shine that we might be saved. You brought a vine out of Mitzrayim. You drove out the nations and planted it. You cleared a place for it and caused it to take deep root and filled the land. Hills were covered with its shadow and the mighty cedars with its twigs. She spread her branches to the sea, her shoots to the river. Why have you broken down her hedges so that every passerby plucked her fruit? The boar out of the forest ravages it, and the wild beast of the field devours it. Return, we beg you, O Elohim of hosts. Look down from heaven and see, and visit this vine, and the stock which your right hand has planted, and the son whom you've made strong for yourself. It is burned with fire, it is cut down, they perish at the rebuke of your face. Let your hand be upon the one at your right hand, upon the son of Adam, whom you have made strong for yourself, and we shall not backslide from you. Revive us and let us call upon your name. Turn us back, O Yahweh, Elohim of hosts, and cause your face to shine, that we might be saved. Good morning, Father Yah. Father, I pray that you would just let your will be done. Father, first and foremost, in me and through me, let your will be done. Father, on a macro scale, with this country and this world, let your will be done. Father, make us strong enough to receive your will, to withstand your will, to accept your will. Father, thank you for provisioning us and protecting us and blessing us and for giving us this day our daily bread. Father, for leading us not into trespass but into righteousness, and for forgiving us of our sins by the blood of Yeshua, Messiah. Father, thank you for making us tough, resilient, powerful in your name. Thank you for striving with us, creating a way home for us through Yeshua, Messiah. Thank you for giving us a life and teaching us how to live it. Father Yah, if there's anything within the sound of my voice that's not of you, I rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach and command it to flee. Father, I pray that you would fill us up with your Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit, for wisdom and discernment first and foremost, especially in this day and age as disinformation flies everywhere and as people are whoring with Babylon and looking towards men for hope, that you would fill us with wisdom and discernment, and that you would give us strength and power and authority to stand in righteousness against the wiles of the enemy, however he might manifest himself. To start first and foremost with our own internal dialogue, to not believe the lies that the enemy puts in our heads, in our hearts, and to be rooted in the truth of you and who you are and how relentlessly you love us and pursue us. Father, for healing, internal and external, for healing of the soul and the heart and the mind and the flesh and the bone and the sinew. Father, and for peace that surpasses all understanding, that in this time of absolute chaos, you would be manifested in us and through us. That people would see us and they would see you. They would know us by our fruits, and they would come to know you by our fruits. Father, thank you for including us in the stewardship of this land and this nation. And it's not the U.S. I'm talking about. Father, thank you for striving with us. Thank you for creating the opportunity for us to come into union with you at any time through prayer. Thank you for being indwelt in us and just guiding us and putting your mighty hand on us and leading us, Father. Father, I pray that continued provision and protection and blessing of all your people and everybody within the sound of my voice. And I pray that you would use us this day to accomplish your will, whatever it might be. I ask all these things in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen. Bless y'all. I'm really encouraged that there's still 2,700 people here after that. Y'all have an awesome Monday. Go out and be the light, Bear Nation. The world needs the Creator, and it needs strong men and women with moral courage and honesty and integrity and righteousness, now more than ever. Bless y'all. We'll see you soon. Shalom.